So did you get a chance to listen to the Sunday call?
I did. I listened to it about eating
So
out.
yeah, and it's kind of more like than, like she said, it's not like special occasion eating out. It's like spur of the moment, like we're going to be out all day and we're like, oh, we got to get some lunch, or we're on vacation, or, like
Yeah.
Christy said. Do you feel like you navigate that pretty good?
Um, Not all. Well, I'm trying to. I would say that not always. I wasn't navigating it well. But the last two events that we had where I wasn't going to be home, um, I feel like I did. I was prepared and I made sure that I had something at home to eat. We don't eat out a lot. Well, I don't eat out a lot. So when I do, I usually try to choose something Fitme style,
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, that hack that you were talking about with the salads, I've been doing that for a long time, where you dip
Yeah.
your fork in the salad dressing.
Yep. And
I've
it's
been
like,
doing that for a long time.
it always amazes me when I ask for this dressing on the side and they bring it, and then they bring it in like how much they bring out. I'm like, holy crap. Is that just because
Yeah.
it's the side, or is that like the portion that you pour on the whole salad? Um, Another
Yeah.
tip, Nicole, we're talking about tips on eating out. So that's fine. Just so you know what we're talking about. Another thing that I like to do is, this drives my husband crazy. Every time we order at a restaurant, he's like, okay, here she goes. Like, I'm so like, but like I will ask for like steamed veggies if I'm having like a regular veggie, no, because a lot of times they just grill it in a bunch of oil and butter or whatever. So sometimes I'll ask for steamed gravy or gravy. What is it? Gravy. Another thing that I like to do, like, okay, let's say I'm getting a salad and the salad has like, 10 different things on it, and it's avocado, cheese, like different kinds of fats. Sometimes like I don't care about cheese very much, so I'll say no cheese because I know that I'm getting a fat from the avocado. So I try to like portion control it a little bit. And same if there's like beans, potatoes, like a bunch of carbs too, I'll do the same thing with that too. Like hold the fried
Yeah.
wonton, or whatever, just so I can kind of, in my mind, I'm portioning it better. But I don't always do good when we go to lunch and I'm with my husband, because like if we go on an overnight or something, we just don't do that stuff very often. And even if we're eating 3 or 4 meals, I feel like we always get appetizers. And that's the part that is like and
Yeah.
so if we get appetizers, I'll try to make my meal a little bit more solid and not so, anything to kind of balance that out. But that's what I struggle with. Raquel, we're
Yeah.
talking about tips on when you're eating out to keep it like in the straight and narrow, and not like when we're having a special dinner, but just like we're grabbing lunch kind of stuff. So if you have any good tips or what struggles or whatever.
My husband's an appetizer person too. And he's like all about the loaded cheese fries and all of the stuff. And I don't really care to order appetizers, but like the last time we went out, I almost said, well, I did say, do you want an appetizer? Because I'm so used to him wanting one. And then it actually had the calories right next to the appetizer. And it was like, we were going to get fried mushrooms or something. And it was like 1,700 calories. And I was like, oh, never mind.
I know.
I don't want it.
It's almost like, damn, why'd they put the calories? But then again, it's almost like, wow, that's scary. Never mind. So it's like that double-edged sword.
I was like, that's more than my daily calories.
I know.
If I eat one appetizer. So I was like, yeah, let's just skip it. And then afterwards, he was like, I'm glad we skipped the appetizer. We didn't even need it. I feel satisfied with just the meal.
And I think remembering that, because we always like, if there's fried calamari on the app, we cannot say no. Like we can't say no. But it's kind of remembering. Sometimes we're like, oh, we'll just get the fried calamari. We don't need like the other 10 apps too, because we forget that like we're full before dinner even comes. And so kind of having that memory of like, we're having 2 meals when we order appetizers and meals.
Yeah. Or the chips and salsa. The baskets and baskets of chips and salsa before you know, when you go eat Mexican food, and it's out of control. Yeah, I think you just, that kind of stuff you just mindlessly eat.
I think
and they
so
just keep bringing you more, and you're not even really realizing how much you're eating.
I agree. And so it's kind of like I have to go before I even get into the restaurant. I have to like go in being like, I'm not going to blah, blah, blah. Because if I don't do that, then I do blah, blah, blah. And you're right. I can eat baskets and baskets of chips. And always my meal comes and I'm like, oh, I just filled up on chips. Oh, well, I'm gonna eat the meal too. So being really conscious of that. What did Nicole say?
She said something in the chat because you can't see
I review the menus before I go and get an idea of what I want. I ask them to not bring chips or bread to the table. Yeah, that is a great idea. And I will review the menu. I like to review the menu sometimes too, if I know that if I know where we're going, or if I know the area we're going or whatever. But sometimes on spontaneous, I don't. And another thing too is like, how hungry are we? Sometimes that kind of blows it. And so like if we're on like a vacation, like let's say that Christy just went on, you know, where you're eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner out, and it's not every meal has to be special. It's like remembering that that to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner so that you're not so starving. Because a lot of times I've always been like, well, I'm going to eat out, so I'm going to save myself for something like that. And then I get there and I'm so starving that I do eat it all. I order everything off the, menu, no substitutions, because I don't care. I just want it right now. And so when we're traveling, remembering that like the same applies as when we're home. If we skip meals, we want things that we don't want kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what else I do. Do you guys ever go to like the teppanyaki or anything like that? Do you ever go to those? When they cook in front of you, and then they cook the rice up and they cook everything. And literally they have like a thing of butter that's like this big. And they literally take a spoon that's like this big and they do the butter and they right on. Like, I'm not kidding, like a thing of butter like this. I always say no butter. And so they have to they will steam everything for you. And so I guess my point is just like, always just asking what you want. We are paying them. And for the most part, they don't care. They probably have seen it all. And so not feeling, that's the best part. That's what my husband says too. He's like, ew, no butter. That's disgusting. What else do I do? I'm trying to think. I don't really eat out that much anymore.
Oh no, I don't eat out very often, except on like special occasions or date night. When those happen.
Sometimes I'll like catch myself doing errands and I won't have anything. And then I'll go for a sandwich, because I feel like you can make a sandwich really solid. Like I said, if I do get cheese on a sandwich, I'll ask for 1 slice. Cause if they're making a sandwich in front of you, sometimes they put like 3 slices on there. They put like a half of an avocado. They put like, spread the mayonnaise all over. And so you can make like a healthy choice sandwich, like a Fitme inspired sandwich, by just being like, no mayo, mustard only, 1 slice of cheese, please. Like that's enough avocado. Load it with veggies. And so that's kind of another trick I do with sandwiches, because I'm not against sandwiches at all.
My favorite thing is coffee shops with pastries. That's
I
something
know.
that's really hard for me to control, is whenever I go to a coffee shop to get something that's not sweetened or something that doesn't, I like to have a fresh pastry because they're local places and they make the best
Mm.
pastries. And so it's
They-
really hard for me to go to one of those places and say no to
A
a
pastry.
nice muffin.
What kind of coffee do you get? Do you just get like a plain coffee or do you get like the double, triple frap, whole extra whip?
No, I get like a latte, just a latte.
And you got to remember that that's okay. As long as you're like, I mean, if you're going into a coffee shop and having a Danish every day and you don't care and you're fine with that, then that's cool, I think, But if if you don't want to do that, making sure that you allow yourself to do that sometimes is like enjoying our lives.
Yeah.
Nothing. Nobody's got any other restaurant tips. All of a sudden, I'm drawing a blank too.
I take the ranch packets and use those for my veggies to portion control my ranch dip.
Hey, there you go.
So whenever I have my afternoon snack, like I had cucumber, carrots, and celery sticks today, and I pulled out a packet from Chick-fil-A of ranch because the kids don't use the sauce.
You're like, I'm just going to be taking a handful of these before I go.
I just need,
I
can
like
I
it.
get some extra ranch?
I like it. I like it. Another thing is, another thing is you can share a meal with somebody. I've never been a share a meal with somebody kind of person. I kind of always want my own meal. I don't know why. Maybe it's just like, I like food. I don't know. But the other thing too is, the side technique from Rebecca. Is that what you're talking about, Nicole? I do that all the time now. I'm like,
You had,
I'm gonna take two
Nicole
more
had
bites.
said that, and I hadn't even realized it. When it wasn't until Nicole said it that I was like, "Oh my God, I just sighed. I need to put my fork down." I love that, Nicole. I love it.
I love it too, because it's usually when I pay attention to it, it's like really the perfect fullness. You know what I mean? It's like, it really is like true to portion, I think. And that is a really cool technique. What was the other thing I was going to say? Oh, having them box up half of it before it even gets to the table. But I guess it depends on what it is. I know, like if you order pasta or something like that, some things are really hard to, some things are really hard to like make good for you, or, whatever. And so just making sure that you're kind of choosing Fitme plate stuff. And even if restaurants, I feel like, are really good these days, I don't feel like they used to be. I feel like food quality has gone up in just regular restaurants. You know what I mean? It used to be like just not as high quality. And so I feel like you can go into any restaurant at this point and kind of mix and, make things the way you need them, and they don't care.
Nicole, I'll do the same thing. I won't eat if it's not worth it. So even if I take a bite of something and I don't like it, I'm like, I'm not wasting my calories on this.
That is true. I need to get better at that. I envy you guys.
Yeah. I need to do that.
I need to practice that more.
My problem is when it's good for me to stop. Like if the chips and queso are just on point, it's like, oh man.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Except wine. I finished the wine.
I know. Sometimes it's a sin to waste wine. Sometimes I will order an appetizer instead of a meal, and that might be smaller, but maybe it's like something really more delicious, because sometimes, it is calories in versus calories out. And so sometimes it's okay to like not have the most perfect thing, but maybe you're going to have it in a smaller size. So then you don't give yourself that, that chance to like overeat.
Unless it's a 1,700 calorie appetizer.
Yeah. Okay. You're right. You're right. I was kind of thinking like the ahi tartar or something like that. That's funny, but
I'm not getting fish for my appetizer.
Sometimes the other thing that I will do is like if I order a steak or some kind of meat that has like a thick sauce on it, first I'll always say like, so what is that sauce like? And then they'll tell me and I'll be like, I know it's going to make the meal better because trust me, I have nickeled and dimed meals down to nothing. And then they came to the table and they were not even good. Right. Yeah. They were healthy, but they were like plain and not even good. So sometimes they'll tell me what the sauce is like. And I'm like, oh, I know that that's meant to be together to make this dish good. Can I have that sauce on the side? And so then I can kind of do the same thing. Like if it's like blue cheese, like sometimes I'll put butter, the bolognese sauce or, whatever fancy sauce. And then I'll do the kind of thing do Marlena with the salad dressing. And I don't think you guys were on yet, but with the salad dressing, like if we order salad dressing on the side, we just take our fork and dab it in and then take some bites and instead of pouring it all over. Or sometimes I'll ask for salad dressing on the side and then I'll ask for oil and vinegar and then I'll just use the vinegar because I'm a vinegar person and I'll put that all over my salad and then I almost need less of the salad dressing because it has some flavor. Do you guys like vinegar?
I've never had it on
salad.
I used to put it in my sandwiches.
Oh yeah.
Oh, but balsamic vinegar. I like balsamic vinegar. I should. And then there's like a raspberry vinaigrette.
Yeah, and I like red wine vinegar too. I'm going to post this on Facebook. They have a line of salad dressings out, probably only at like natural food stores, but they're vinegar based and they're so good. And they're like 50 calories for 2 tablespoons, which is really for salad dressing. That's like nothing in my opinion. You know what I mean? It's not 130 like a lot of them are because I don't think there's a lot of fat in them. They're more vinegar based. I'm going to post them on Facebook. They're so good because sometimes just asking for a vinegar based salad dressing will cut an immense amount of like, unwanted calories off your meal. Nothing. Nobody does anything else. Nobody does anything else as a tip in a restaurant.
I think we just we don't go out very often for a meal. And so when I do go out, I like to get like my favorite. I really just choose what I want and what I like because I know I'm probably not going to go again for a while. And so, sometimes, I'll kind of think about the choices more, but sometimes I just want what I want because I'm not going to do it again for a really long time.
True. What about those days when you forget your lunch in the fridge and you have to like run over and get something somewhere?
I don't anymore, Leah.
Good answer. Good answer.
I don't do that anymore.
Coach's pet.
I used to go across the street to the grocery store and get a pre-made sandwich, a bag of chips, and then they had these chocolate chip cookies bigger than my face.
Someday I'm going to go to Las Cruces, New Mexico, and I'm going to get this chocolate chip cookie.
It's so good, and it's literally like that thick. And I saw it once, and I got it, and I was like, "Oh, this is a real nice treat." And then it ended up being like a Friday thing. Every Friday, I'd forget my lunch. I'd go over there, get a sandwich, bag of chips, and a chocolate chip cookie. So it went from being a treat to being a problem. So I had to fix that problem by packing a lunch every day.
Sometimes if I forget, I will go, like, I live in a small town. There's not that, unless I want to when I'm running errands and stuff, I just want to go grab something. I don't want to like sit down, do the whole thing. And so I'll just go to the natural food store and do like their hot bar or something like that. Because even if the calories aren't perfect or anything, I know that the food quality is good. And then I can choose like, usually they have like veggies, potatoes, meat, whatever it is. And so I don't worry too much about like, if it's high in dairy or high in fat. I don't think about that too much because I know the quality is good, and I just keep my portion control under, I use the smaller container instead of the bigger one. And so that's kind of a trick that I use when I'm like running around and I don't have lunch. I need to grab something, because a lot of times it's not even about the calories. It's about the quality of food. And right, like our body, we've talked about this before, when we put good food like from the ground into our bodies, it's like, oh, I know what to do with this, and it files it away where it's supposed to for fuel and all this stuff. But when we put stuff that our body doesn't recognize in there, then it's like, oh, hold up, stop, what the heck is this? Get inflamed. Oh my God, how are we going to deal with this? Oh, right. And so sometimes it's not even about the calories, it's about the quality. And so eating something that is higher in quality and not worrying so much getting wrapped up in like, is this fattening? Is this high calorie? The body can deal with it so much easier that it almost knows how to, to burn that stuff more efficiently for fuel. So that's kind of like a good rule of thumb that I like to think about when I'm running around. Somebody told me that I need to do a podcast or like a YouTube thing with little like tutorials, because I'm always like, and I do all these. They're like, it'd be hilarious.
You'd be good at it. You'd be so good at it.
I know. Slamming your hand on the counter.
I know.
You're just passionate about what you're saying.
I know. So I guess that's it.
I think for me, for eating out,
Nope, go ahead.
Sorry.
Go.
No, I was just going to say, I make different choices now. Like, I think so, like before Fitme, I was always eating like the fried chicken, the hamburgers, the French fries. And so now whenever I eat out, I'm just more mindful of where I'm going. Like I go to there's a teriyaki chicken place that's really good that has rice, grilled chicken, and vegetables. And I'll ask for extra vegetables, or, I'm just picking different things. If I have to eat out, I'll go get a salad, or, which before I was like, oh man, it's a salad, but salads are good. And I like salads, but everybody always, oh, are you on a diet? No, I like lettuce.
Yeah. Guess what?
And
we need veggies to poop, people.
Yeah. I'll sub the iceberg for romaine lettuce. Dion's lets you do that, and it's,
oh yeah, that's cool.
So for me, because I do still eat out now and then, and it's but I'm just making different choices.
And that's I love that, because that is what it's about. We can't be, if we're caught off guard or we're traveling, we can't be paralyzed about eating, right?
Mm-hmm.
We can't be paralyzed that like, it's all bad, I don't even know how to make a choice, I'm just going to eat the bad, and then I'm blah, blah, blah. And now we're kind of aware, and we know like, hey, I can make a good choice anywhere. Like it really doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. I can somehow figure this out to be good, because we kind of know, we know, we've learned more about nutrition, and what feels good in our bodies. So I love that. That's really cool, and that is very true. It's very true. Okay, ladies. Anything else before we go?
Hey, next week, can we talk, or not next week, just sometime, can we talk about like, desserts and sugar-free stuff? Like, I just don't know. I get a sweet tooth, and sometimes it's every day, and I don't want to go for the chocolate chip cookies, and I don't keep ice cream in my house. But I bought a sugar-free Jell-O pudding snack. Like, just maybe we can touch on that.
Yeah, that's a great one. We will. That's what we're talking about next week. I wrote it down. I'm gonna put it right on my computer along with all the other 5,000 Post-it notes. Inside of my brain. All right, ladies. I will see you next week. We'll talk about sugar and sugar-free stuff. I think that's actually a very important topic because yes, it's great to have a dessert every once in a while and have it be really good, but sometimes we want one more than that. And we should talk about that too. So, okay. Bye, ladies.
Have a good week.
Thank you. You too.
Bye.